Can you share a little bit the difference between, so you're a hockey player, so I just always assumed hockey players just train on ice all the time, but they don't. Jonathan educated me that there's on-ice training versus off-ice training, and whether you're an ice athlete like you and Jonathan, there's still critical movements that you need to be able to master off-ice. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to, again, I quote Steve because it's just perfectly put. He just has a way of doing this. Be a grace chaser,
okay.
He calls it. Chase grace.
Yeah.
And graceful, yeah, it's like a ballerina. I mean, look at ballet dancers.
Right.
They're like the best athletes in the world. Gymnasts, best athletes in the world.
Right.
Because they just have this grace to their movement. And
right.
I think the off-ice aspect does that. If it's coached well, will teach you how to gracefully move. And what's really interesting is when you're watching the sport, the human eye is naturally attracted to graceful movement. So you can actually see the person that's a really well-rounded athlete versus the person that's a one-sport athlete, if you watch close enough.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of what Jonathan's referring to, is teaching kids how to be athletes, well-rounded athletes, adaptable athletes, and through graceful movement.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much all you really need to know, is just chase grace, man.
Yeah,
and like, be nice, like the water flowing around a rock.
Right.
Learn how to move with flow and ease. You're not robotic.
Yeah.
Sports aren't that way. So that's kind of maybe the surface level answer. I don't know. You could go into so many details on how to teach people how to move and what movements and this and that, but I think that's basically should be the goal of any athletic development or any kid out there trying to learn how to be an athlete, is to just chase grace.
Gotcha. Okay. How much off-ice training did you guys actually do in the NHL? A ton?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's part of your everyday routine, really.
Gotcha.
It's injury prevention at the end of the day.
Okay.
That's what movement is too.
Right.
So, as a pro athlete, pro hockey player, we talk about be a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Being a pro means taking care of your body and being consistent every single day. Doing things when nobody's watching. So, that's definitely part of the day. You gotta, whether that means a static stretch if you're a stretching guy like that, or get up and move and warm up, or maybe you got to do a workout before you get on the ice, or maybe you have all this prehabilitation for injury prevention that you have to do. Whatever you have to do, you are in the gym every day.
Got it.
Or at least, in my opinion, you should be.
Right.
In some form or format.
Got it.
As an athlete.
Got it. Okay. Very cool. Do you work with other types of athletes? I mean, obviously you work with the general population, right? Anyone you mentioned, anyone can come. Do you personally work with, aspiring skiers or soccer players or baseball players or anything, basketball players or? I don't.
I have to. That's the selfish part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure that I'm maintaining myself.
Got it.
And I'm getting myself prepared for my own hockey season.
Gotcha.
I think it's a tremendous responsibility. I have too much respect for strength and conditioning coaches and athletic development coaches and that whole concept.
Yeah.
To train professional athletes at this point, or even prospective professional athletes. There's progressions that you need to consider. There's a true development process.
Yeah.
That I still need to learn. I do not know all of that, but what I can do is I can run a really bang-on group workout, and I can hopefully make you feel better after several times of the class. Maybe your spine's going to feel better, you're going to have more energy, you're just going to feel better all around, physically, maybe mentally, because of that.
Exactly.
That's my goal right now. So having that boundary right now for me is crucial, just so I can still be committed to the Nuremberg Ice Tigers over in Germany as one of the leaders in the room there. I don't want to get overextended and forget about them.
When do you go to Germany for that season?
Well, they're delayed now.
Oh, because of COVID.
So the earliest we are going to start is November.
Okay.
So usually I would be over there right now.
Got it.
We would start training camp right around now, and get ready for the season, but we're delayed. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. Okay, so before we run out of time, I always want to make sure that the listeners have the ability to reach out to you, your website, or any place that they can find you. What's the best place that people can find your website, or Instagram, or Facebook, or whatever it is that you want?
You can just hit up my personal page on Instagram for now.
Okay.
Jack Skilly. It's at Jack Skilly, my full name.
Okay.
And I also have fmt.life, which
Okay.
is our business page. You can, if you're looking for workouts or wanting to join the group,
Yep.
DM me there, either one of those pages. Give me a follow, whatever, and see if you like it. And I always try to respond to everybody that reaches out to me. I think if they take the time to reach out to me, I'm going to take the time to reach out back to them. So I think it's just a respect thing for me.
Awesome.
So don't worry, I'll get back to you. Even if it's not right away, I'm getting there. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, very cool. And for anyone who's missed any part of this show, you can always go to www.utahhomesweethome.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and there's the social media icons. If you click on the YouTube icon, we film all of these shows. You can rewatch this show. You can see the information. And actually, Bailey and I have been to one of the sessions. You were out of town. You were in Wisconsin. Jonathan was running it. And we filmed that one. And so you can check out what these sessions look like. And then Bailey and I will be joining you again on Monday. And we'll film that session. And so for those of you who are curious to see what these workouts are like, you can get a good feel for when we watch this video. Because I'd never even heard of an aqua bag until 2 weeks ago.
It's a pretty fun tool, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really interesting what it does to you.
It does, and it's harder than I thought it would be.
Yep.
When that's over my head and you're like, okay, walk and shoot to the side, like, oh gosh, like the water flowing to the one end.
The splash, you got to catch the splash with your core.
Yes.
It's like farmer strong.
Yes.
Guys are lifting barrels like that all the time.
Right.
That's why the guys that are lifting up all that heavy labor weight, they're the strongest guys. They're doing functional movement within their work, their daily life. So
that's right.
We're that's what we do. We want to get the fun part of that. We don't want you reliant on gear, but when we have a fun tool like an aqua bag, we like to throw it in the workouts every now and again.
Yeah.
If not every time.
Yeah. And you know what I love about the aqua bag is that I really feel it in my core. I think you'd mentioned it's part of the core, and that's exactly where I'm feeling it, because I feel as I'm getting older, the core is the one thing that I recognize getting weak. I don't recognize my biceps getting weak. They're getting weak. If I don't work them out, they're going to get weak. But I don't do anything in the day that makes me have to, lifting a cup or a fork to my mouth to eat or drink doesn't, I don't go, oh, my biceps are weak, I can't lift this fork. But bending over to pick up my 2-year-old, I'm like, oh, my core is getting weak. Like, I feel it. So I freaking love the aqua bag.
Well, what's cool about the core, what you said there, is you don't feel weak in your limbs, but at the same time, if your core isn't strong, you're not strong.
Right.
That's the way it is. Your strength in the human body comes from the middle out.
Yes.
So you have to train your core. In order for your arms to be as strong as they possibly can, your core's got to be spot on.
Got it.
So that's movement. That's literally when you have back issues, when you have stuff like that, it's mostly related to core.
Yes.
A lot of physical therapists will get you doing planks, they'll get you doing side planks, they'll be like all of a sudden reactivating your core, and you're like, oh, I haven't paid attention to this at all. No wonder why when I'm sitting at a desk all day and I'm slouched in a terrible postural position, my back is killing me. It's because my core is loose.
Never
so that's another saying that we have is like, stiffness comes from looseness.
Interesting.
So you got to get moving.
Yes.
Through movement, you'll become looser.
Got it.
So
that's my back. Like I have and that's where I feel it, is I feel it in my lower back and my core. Okay. And I could be wrong. I always assumed the core was like by your abs and your lower back. Is that not the core?
Your core wraps around your entire body.
Okay.
I mean, it literally is. It crosses in front. I mean, it goes down into your groins. I mean, literally, it's like it's attached to everything. It's literally all of your limbs are moved through the core. So it's like it's a major vital thing to pay attention to. And people, even athletes, get injured all the time. Groin injuries, things like that, can be a result of not focusing and maintaining your core.
Gotcha. And that's what I love about, I really feel my core when we're doing these workouts. Just, I wanted to prove that point to everybody who's listening.
And that's the thing too, is like the aqua bag, what's interesting about core movement is you don't have to isolate the core in order to move it.
Oh, yeah.
You can do a full body movement by integrating the core, which is what the beauty of aqua bag is.
Right.
So when you're doing a walking step and a side lean with an aqua bag,
yeah,
your entire body from your toenails to your fingernails holding the aqua bag
right,
is moving, but your core is having to move you through that movement.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of it. That's another thing that people think is, oh, if I want to work my core,
yeah,
I just got to isolate my core. Well, I'm not a believer in isolating any muscles.
Right.
I'm a believer in getting all the muscles between your toes and fingernails to work together. The tiny muscles that you don't even use every single day, well, you do use them every single day, you just don't realize it. So
right,
training everything.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, and just like I said, the kinetic chain. I'm not an expert, but at the same time, I've lived this my whole life. This is like my life. I've lived it.
Right.
And I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
I hope you can tell in my voice.
Absolutely.
I'm passionate about teaching this to people because I don't enjoy watching people hurt themselves in the gym.
Right.
Or athletes that are doing things in a form of training that it's a funny expression by Steve's mentor.
Uh-huh.
He says, if you're training slow, you're training to be slower.
Oh, interesting.
If you're not training well, then you're training to be worse at whatever sport you. So why even show up?
Right.
It's quality over quantity. That's the whole thing. Is make sure whatever you're doing, it's high quality. And that's kind of what I try to live out in my life.
Yeah.
From food wise, I mean, my best. I mean, I'm a failure every day at that. I mean, you see a bag of chips, like who doesn't want to eat it?
Right.
You know, I'm an impulsive eater too, but you have to try your best to just make sure that, hey, I want to live a high quality life, put high quality fuel in my body, and I want to do high quality movement when I train, because I want to, when I'm 65 years old, I want to move like my mentor Steve does.
Right.
I want to move like I'm in my 30s.
Right.
I don't want to be miserable with back pain and thinking I can't do something.
Right.
So.
I love it. Okay, perfect.